Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to get right started in because we also have an addition to our lineup. We have Dame Products, who is also going to be joining us. So we're going to try to do 6 in this time period. I am Kate Brodock. I'm CEO of Women 2.0 and founding partner of the W Fund. I do want to take one quick moment before we start. It's been a long, emotional 2 weeks, especially long and emotional for some people, more so on this phone call than others. I want to say 2 quick things for any of our friends on this phone call who are members of the Black community. I hope you know that we are all working this week to understand you better, and we are feeling you. And if there's any solace you can get, it's that in the next hour, you are going to be spending it with people who 100% care deeply about your position, are open to understanding your experiences more, and are willing to act. For the general audience, thank you also for showing up today. This is one of the things, even though it's slightly outside of this realm, this is how we collectively can support inclusion. It's amazing that this is one of the ways that we can rethink and hopefully shift the power structures that do need to be shifted. And I'm very thankful for everybody here for understanding that that's what has to happen, and for coming here today, hopefully writing out some checks and slowly starting to move ourselves into a world that looks a little bit better for everybody. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Carly quickly, who's going to introduce herself and let us do a quick run through of what our format is, and then we're going to get going.
Thanks, Kate. Hi, everyone. I just want to echo what Kate said. Well said, Kate. It's been a crazy week or two, but I'm so happy to have you all here and our founders here. I am the founder of the Female Founded Club, so we connect female founders with investors. I know a lot of you guys have heard this spiel already since this is our 5th call, but I also have a specific interest in Femtech and women's sex tech, and am the GP of Reformation Ventures, a small fund focusing on these industries. So I'm really excited for today's pitch session.
Great. With that, we are going to kick right off. You will be able to enter questions into chat. I will verbalize those questions. We're going to move pretty quickly again. And so our first up is Brazen. Kirsten, would you like to pop on and get started?
Yes, I would love to. I'm Kirsten Karchmer. I'm the CEO and founder of Brazen. I spent the last 20 years as a reproductive acupuncturist, where I helped well over 10,000 women to improve their fertility and periods. And let me get started for you guys. I want to talk to you today about a problem that affects over 2 billion women on the planet. Nearly 80% of women report significant and life-interrupting menstrual pain every single month to their gynecologist. And the current solutions really only address about the needs of about 50% of them. 1 in 3 women will miss school or work because of their period, and 30% of women diagnosed with PMDD, which is the very severe kind of PMS, will have at least 1 suicide attempt. But more importantly, menstrual disease is a leading indicator for chronic disease, as it's highly correlated with diabetes, heart disease, stroke, depression, infertility, and estrogen-dependent disease, estrogen-dependent cancers. Now, you might be thinking, wow, 2 billion women have this problem. It affects their quality of life, their current health, their future fertility, and their long-term health. Everybody must be trying to solve this problem, when in fact, there are very few solutions for this and very little research dollars. In fact, only 4% of research dollars are spent on women's health from the NIH. Traditionally, women are using over-the-counter painkillers, which do provide relief for about 50% of women for pain only. It doesn't do anything for PMS, and it does come with significant risk for side effects with larger doses, and it doesn't address the underlying symptoms that are causing the problems. Over 100 million women track their period every single month. They do so because they want to understand when they're going to ovulate and when their period is going to come. The only problem is that it doesn't do anything to help the women use that data to understand why they're having the problems or create the solution to fix it. That's why, based on our
Kirsten?
Yes, ma'am.
Kirsten?
Yes, ma'am.
I hate doing this, but we are not able to see your screen right now. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Did it just happen?
I'm not
I
quite
think we
sure.
haven't started sharing yet, so.
Oh, shoot. I had such good slides. Should I just jump in halfway where I left off? What do you suggest?
Yep, that works.
Okay. Okay.
But I still don't think you're sharing your screen yet. So, here we go. There we
Okay,
go.
that's no good.
And Kirsten, you want to know what? If you would feel more comfortable starting over, we'd be happy to have you do that. Whatever you're comfortable with.
I would.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, so want to talk about it. I'll go quickly for this. Impacting more than 80% of women with significant PMS. Like I said, 30% of women with PMDD will have a suicide attempt. 1 in 3 women are missing school. The current solutions are not addressing the majority of women's problems, but most importantly, it's a leading indicator of chronic disease, highly correlated with diabetes, heart disease, stroke, infertility, and estrogen-dependent cancers. So the 2 current solutions, as we talked about, the biggest problem is they don't address the underlying causes. We're looking at symptoms, not underlying systems. Painkillers can be effective for about 50% of women, but they do only treat symptoms and they come with significant side effects. 100 million women track their period every month. They do so to have some agency around controlling the chaos around their period and for reproductive purposes. Again, they have a huge opportunity there. They're collecting massive amounts of user-collected data, but they are failing to use that data diagnostically and prescriptively. That's why, based on our 20-year clinical experience, we developed Brazen, the patented personal health program for periods. We combined the first ever period app that can help you to fix your period with highly customized supplements. Currently, we look at everything in Western medicine in a silo, from habits to signs and symptoms to menstrual parameters. And this is a real disadvantage because it doesn't allow us to have the ability to understand the interrelatedness between those things. Brazen developed a systematic approach to better periods and a healthier body, looking at the intersection of cycle parameters, signs and symptoms, and habits. What we were able to identify in our clinical experience is how all of these things are deeply interconnected and how understanding that interconnection can allow us to triage the problems and create highly customized multidisciplinary interventions, all delivered in an app. And it works. In our pilot with over 105 women, not only were we able to demonstrate significant changes in menstrual pain and PMS and pregnancy rates, we also had 83% daily engagement and significant changes in behaviors like vegetable intake, water consumption, and decreased stress. How does it work? After the woman downloads the app, she goes through an onboarding process in which she's collecting data about the aforementioned symptoms, habits, and cycle parameters. The algorithm begins to tie the pieces together to understand how all of those symptoms are related to the habits and start creating a highly customized solution. As a woman starts to work her program in the first month, she should start to see impressive results. As she adds more information to the algorithm, it's able to refine the program and provide even more precision solutions for the woman, and thus we create a virtuous cycle. So each time she has a menstrual cycle, the algorithm is able to reset again and then provide a whole new customized approach. But we're not just building a program for PMS and cramping. The software that we patented has the ability to meet the needs of women from before they start their period all the way through menopause. We've only been around for just under a year, and we've done a bunch on about $500,000. We published a best-selling book called Seeing Red. We were able to patent our software and put it into alpha. We took what we learned from our supplements and were able to reformulate them for higher customization, run a pilot with 250 women, and show significant organic growth. And now we're ready for our next steps. Our go-to-market strategy is highly rooted in content, as our perspective on the menstrual cycle is not a curse, but an instrument of unfair advantage. A way to understand women's health in a very cost-effective way is the pillar of all of our outreach. We've partnered with the very famous Harmon Brothers as our digital team and public relations to help tell the story about changing the way that women think about their period. And we just were awarded a Mass Challenge finalist, so we're in Mass Challenge now, which now opens up many doors for huge partnerships between payers, providers, healthcare centers, hospitals, and partners. We've built an impressive team, and that's my timer, an impressive team, and this is what our customers are saying about us. Out of about 200 subscribers, we were able to get 104 5-star reviews. That's it. Thank you. Let's see.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, just babbling. I thought I hit unmute. Kirsten, thank you. Anybody can put questions into the box. Very quickly for the audience, can you clarify the details of your raise?
Yes, we're currently raising a $300,000 bridge, which has a 25% discount on the next round. We started to see impressive, we just hired that we were able to partner with the Harmon Brothers, and in the 2 months that we've worked them, we're starting to see really impressive growth. So we were raising a 3 million seed round. We want to give ourselves some runway to see if we can get more traction before we run that.
Great. Last quick question from Trin Linamaki. What's your pricing model?
So we have 2 revenue channels. One is subscription for the app, which is $4.99 a month. And then for the customized supplement, it's $49.99 per month. By month 7, we have a 1% churn rate.
Great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
We are going to move on. Yes, we're glad to have you. Next up, we have private packs from, and Suzanne, would you like to pop in? Can't wait to hear from you.
I'm here. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let me start my timer. Hi, everyone. My name is Suzanne Sinatra, and I'm the founder of Private Packs. We are a new direct-to-consumer brand that designs wearable and reusable hot and cold packs that soothe your private body parts. Our first product is for the vulva. Now, you're probably thinking, why would somebody need a pack for their privates? Well, here's the problem. Did you know that 70% of women experience acute or chronic vulvar pain? That does not include women that are also undiagnosed or misdiagnosed by their doctors. Also, private packs are not just for consumers. Through our research, we have found that service providers like gynecologists, pelvic floor physical therapists, doulas, lactation consultants don't have a ready-made solution to give to their patients and their clients. Now, this is the real problem. Clearly, by these examples, they are not designed for the privates. They are messy. You need your hand to hold them in place. They're bulky, or they're hand-me-downs. And that's why we're here, because also what's wrong with these solutions, you can't go outside with these solutions down your pants. The private pack solution for the vulva, which is our first design, is patented, and it is lightweight, and it contours to the body, and it is discreet and lightweight, and we're super easy to use. The cold you put into the freezer for 2 hours. The hot pack is instantly hot when you press the silver disc, and you put it inside the provided sleeve. You place it on the middle of your underwear, and you go. You wear for 20 to 30 minutes, and then you could reuse it by putting the cold pack back in the freezer, and the heat back is reset by putting it in boiling water. Private packs is like your BFF. Our patented design contours to the body, and And our vision is to make products for all the private body parts. I created private packs after Brazilian wax left me with second-degree burns. However, 2 weeks before our 2017 launch, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Private packs gave me the mission not only to fight for my life, but to provide this tool for people that have vulva discomfort, because I deal with extreme vaginal dryness because I was induced into menopause. And I know from my own personal story that if I needed something like this, that there were others. Private packs is part of the Femtech space, which is estimated to be about $50 billion by the year 2023. We estimate our market opportunity for our first product to be $63 billion. I also included the medical community because private packs will elevate the patient experience and lessen the number of patient visits. This is our competitive landscape. VagiPlug and Feminade are our direct competitors because they also make perennial packs, but they're targeted for moms. Hospital issued packs from like Cardinal Health, Medline, or 3M, and then the homemade DIY solutions. We are the only business that recognizes the enormity of the issue, and we will prove that once we start selling. Patent aside, our competition is not the Cardinal Health or 3M. We are competing against people that suffer in silence and do nothing until now. We are the only company we feel that addresses this issue, because we are not just for moms. We are for the people that have yeast infections, suffer with pain from STIs, as well as vaginal dryness and a little too much soul cycle when we're able to go back to exercising. Our flagship product is for the vulva. On this slide, you will see that the packs are white because we allow our customer to select the temperature that they need. Each pack is accompanied with a reusable protective sleeve that has a dual purpose. The green print, which is a care label, is a silicone puff print. So it eliminates the pack from sliding if our customer feels like walking around and moving. If they've got to do work at the office, it will not shift inside their underwear. Also, it is a barrier between the person's vaginal opening and the actual pack. In September, we had a successful crowdfunding campaign, and we doubled our $10,000 goal. To raise our brand awareness, we sent out private packs to a few influencers and followers on IG, and these are a few of their comments and posts that they provided for us. This is our go-to-market strategy, and everything has been worked out from our crowdfunding campaign that we did. We launched our e-commerce store last week, and we already have 15 buyers. And our use of funds, we're looking to raise $750,000 for a burn rate of 18 months. And a lot of it will cover our FDA fees that we need to pay, safety testing, and so much more. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Suzanne. Do we have any questions for private packs that we'd like to answer? Suzanne, could you, while we might be waiting for a question, could you just talk a tiny bit about your production of the private packs?
Yeah, so we raised, the money that we raised on our crowdfunding campaign went for production. And our factory in China, one was not only closed because of COVID, but during COVID, they lost their FDA certification. So now we are resourcing a new factory that has all the certifications already, and we are in the process of going to place our order within the next 30 days. And we plan to have the product stateside in July. And we're going to order 5,000 units. The raise will include the purchase of 20,000 private packs so we can have $1 million in sales. That's the goal.
Fantastic. Great. Suzanne, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you.
We are going to move on. Yes. We're going to move on. We've got Hazel coming up. Aubrey.
Hi everyone, I'm Aubrey, co-founder of Hazel. I've spent my entire career working with female-founded startups and have been in surrounded by incredibly strong women that have encouraged me on this path. So I'm so excited to share Hazel with you today. Can you guys see my screen? All right. So I want you all to meet Kay. Kay is a 64-year-old HR executive. She has 2 adult children, and she loves her weekly Pilates class. My co-founder met Kay in his previous role when he helped found a social club for people over 50. Kay explained to us that there was a big difference between the beauty products she loves and the personal care products that make her feel old. I've designed brand and product experiences for women at companies like Zola and Rockets of Awesome. And my co-founder, Steven, led strategy at Plated. Since we both come from user-focused companies, Kay's story really resonated with us. So we began talking with hundreds of women over 50, and we learned that just like Kay, they're demanding a better personal care experience. And we were surprised to learn that the biggest pain point was incontinence products, specifically adult diapers. That's why we built Hazel, to be a personal care brand empowering the ever-evolving woman with elevated, groundbreaking products, starting with disposable underwear. The incontinence category is an overlooked $13 billion market, and it's the fastest growing category in personal care. 1 in 2 women over 50 experience some type of leakage due to life experiences like childbirth and menopause. This is a must-have product, and it's one of the most in-demand categories. As COVID moved sales online, all incontinence products were sold out overnight on Amazon, Target, and Walmart. And yet 70% of women hate the current solution. It's a product her mother wears, not something she wants to wear. They're bulky, papery, basically oversized baby diapers. But legacy brands own 100% of the market. They're leveraging their existing baby diaper manufacturing and supply chain, so they have zero incentive to innovate. And to be clear, we are not just another white labeled product. We worked with material scientists that come from Johnson & Johnson, and we completely re-engineered our patent pending underwear. We prioritized fit, function, and aesthetics. While our competitors are using plastic, we've introduced new materials and technologies. But our product can't just work better. It has to look and feel better. We've designed this product alongside fashion designers from J. Crew and Ralph Lauren. We worked with models in demo representing different body types, allowing us to design for the way her body changes as she gets older. We've also reimagined the existing manufacturing process, from the machinery to the supply chain, something our competitors can't and won't do. This demo represents a completely new consumer category. The overall population is getting older, and they control most of the disposable income. And they have a particular willingness to try new online brands and services. So the time to do this is right now. We're launching direct to consumer to learn from our customers and iterate quickly. And it's perfect for subscription. It's need-based, and she uses it daily. This leads to an attractive and scalable business model. Our tests have shown a $450 lifetime value per subscriber on a $50 CAC. That's a 9x return on marketing dollars. And from the beginning, it was important for us to connect with our consumer. We've already established a community of influential women who have helped shape the brand and mission and are excited to share Hazel with their followers. As we grow and scale, we know that this authentic momentum is the way to eventually turn on other sales channels like Amazon and Target. So over the last year, we've developed the brand, physical product, and validated it all with consumer research. But we know that incontinence products are just the start. Just like Hims and Hers has done for the health category, Hazel has its sights set on the $126 billion personal care space for women over 50. So join us as we empower the ever-evolving woman with groundbreaking products and the elevated experience she deserves. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Aubrey. Any questions for Aubrey can go in the chat. Yep, good question that I was gonna have you follow up from Trin again. How much are you raising? I know actually that you're a little bit pre-launch, and so could you just talk through your next 12 months?
Yeah, so we technically have a safe open and have raised over a little over $500,000 to date, but we are now looking to raise up to $2 million in a price round for our seed. And then we're planning on launching later this year, late October.
Great. Thanks, Aubrey. One other quick question so that we can squeeze one in. You had mentioned that you're starting with incontinence products. Do you have a sense of where you might go from there?
Yeah, so like I mentioned with the community that we've already started forming, having, I am not in this demo, so from the beginning, having women really inform the brand and every kind of aspect as we're building this company will be exactly how we treat the category expansion. So, we definitely have ideas, as you saw on that slide, but we really want our consumer to inform what those next steps are. So launching direct to consumer to get that feedback loop going will be essential. But you can imagine, she has many needs that aren't being served at this stage in her life, and we want to meet those needs for her.
Great. Thank you so much. I think we might have one more. Yep, just a sec. We have a question from June Choi. Can you talk about how two young people came to target this particular market? You mentioned it a little bit in the beginning, but maybe a little bit more depth on that.
Yeah, definitely. This is a question we get a lot, so happy to answer it. So my co-founder, as I mentioned, he was actually, after Plated was acquired by Albertsons, he left to start a social club with one of the previous co-founders of Plated, and it was focused on essentially like the wing, but for people over 50. And so that's where he really discovered the white space. And from my perspective, I've worked with a lot of different companies focused on unique life stages. So pregnancy, new baby, and then a wedding tech startup. So from my experience, I love building brands focused on women and building brands and products that empower them. So for me, this was just a bigger opportunity looking at, I'm really close to my aunt who's in her 70s, and she's one of the coolest women I know, and the products that exist that she needs just aren't out there. And so we really want to create a full brand and product assortment that serves her needs. And that's really where the inspiration comes from.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Aubrey. We are going to move on. Next up, we've got Dame Products. Alexandra, you can pop in.
I'm unmuting myself, which is step one in you hearing me. Cool. Sharing slideshow. And hi, I'm Alexandra. I'm the CEO of Dame Products. And I'm excited to tell you about us. So we are promoting well-being through pleasure and intimacy. This is our highlight slide, which really is so much of what we've done. We started in 2014. We've done 2 big crowdfunding campaigns. One did over $575,000 and the other one did $394,000. We hold 7 patents, 2 utility patents, and we've designed 11 products in-house. We are profitable. We have 77% direct-to-consumer margins. Our past 3 months of sales are actually now at an $8 million annualized revenue. And we're now actually at closer to an 80% year-over-year growth from 2020 to 2019. We've shipped 200,000 products around the world, and we've raised about $1.4 million from outside investors. Sex is an important part of our personal health. It's a huge part of our interpersonal relationships. And ultimately, it is what creates society. It is literally how we exist. I often like to say, sex is a part of our best moments, and it often defines our worst moments. And I think that truly speaks to how powerful sex is, yet we ignore it as a society. We ignore it as an industry. And that has created a huge opportunity to create a brand that represents sexual well-being for women and men, and really just fights against shame. That's really what we're trying to do. The global sexual wellness market is viewed to be a $56 billion market, with about $25 billion of that in sex toys specifically. And of course, this doesn't include all of the innovations that could come to the sexual wellness market, whether that's pharmacy, telehealth, as well as the mental health component, which is something we've really been focusing a lot on. So that's just me looking, I think, pretty fly, in my opinion. And we're creating a shame-free telesexual wellness brand. So for us, you know, everything that we've done has also really just started with community. To create these products, we need people to test our products. It means we need to hold conversations in order to understand what they need. And that has just been part of what we're doing from day one, and became like just really important to us when we saw what Indiegogo did for the brand, which was really how we launched. We had over 6,000 people show up for 2, at the time, like mid-20-year-olds who invented a vibrator. And they have continuously come back to tell us what they need, to hold space. We've done events now, both a conference, a one-day conference called Nuance that had over 300 people come, and we had our pop-up recently that had over 500 people come throughout the time there. And that's really where we've learned that not only are we selling products, but we're also selling services and education and workshops. This has really created a beautiful funnel within and of itself, and a community where we have different ways of activating our community to both monetize them, educate them, and empower them. So products. We are really good at making products. This is not even all of our products, there's a lot of them. And the way we do it, as I kind of briefly chatted about, is through community and engagement. I only have a minute left, and most of the first slides are way more important. So I'm just gonna breeze through these pretty quickly. And this has left us with we have a 77% gross margin with most of our products, and our LTV, our lifetime revenue actually, so it's our LTR, has really dramatically increased. This is our 2-year LTR, and it's up above 140 now, with our CPA is below $30. We've been profitable both in January and April, and again in May. We've actually been profitable for all of 2020 this year, which we're really excited about. We're doing great in this time. We are at the intersection of both at-home entertainment and at-home wellness, and we're seeing the benefits of that. We have really figured out our marketing, which is a major driver of our growth. We have our CPA is below 30 and our CAC is below $40. And again, we have an LTR of about $140 from our customers. Skipping. We get a lot of press. We've been in the New York Times like 4 times. And I think that as we continue to expand into these other categories, into the sexual health space, the ability that we've had to create a really authentic brand, I think is always what's going to put us ahead of some of these other brands that have raised so much more money than us. These are our projections for the rest of the year. We've actually beat these projections for March, April, and May so far, and we're looking to raise $500,000 for Q4 marketing so we can hit $10 million in revenue this year.
Great. Thank you so much. Anybody can put in questions for Dame in the chat. While we have you, can you chat a little bit about the competitor space for your product?
Yeah, sure. So this category, sex toys specifically, I would say the sexual wellness category is actually really siloed. You have companies that make lubricants. You make companies that focus on marital health. You have focus on sex toys. What we're really looking to do is to do a little bit in each one. So I think that really sets us apart. Companies like Adam and Eve, Pure Romance, these companies do over $100 million in annual revenue, and they're almost predominantly run by men, and they tend to have a very icky feel to them, even with some of the best intentions. So what we're trying to do is create a millennial, clean brand that talks to our customers frankly and honestly about sex in a way that doesn't use the taboo to its advantage. So we don't have any like, shh, we won't tell kind of messaging. And that is really what set us apart. And we
Great.
also have, there's some new companies in this space, and really what sets us apart from them is having in-house product development. Our products are unique and developed by us.
Great. Second question, what is your largest marketing channel currently?
I would say our largest marketing channel currently is actually affiliate marketing. So we've been doing really well with content and working with content partners to our new audience. We actually we've had a very challenging relationship with Facebook.
Doesn't everybody?
Yes. In fact, we were in the New York Times.
We do have one question.
Yes, I think it's funny
Annie
because everybody's having it now. I don't know if she's paused.
A question from Annie Lee. Do you get the 50 and over community engaging?
Oh yeah. So when we were—
Sorry, am I still paused?
No, it's just a little delayed, but the answer is yes. We sell very well to that community, especially when we can get in front of that community. So when we were in the New York Times, our #1 demographic for the whole month of July that year was 65 plus, not even the 55 to 65. And that was people, reading in the New York Times, coming to our website and placing an order for 65 plus. Our challenge is letting the village let us come to them so we can advertise. But they're much more excited about events. So we're finding creative ways.
Great. Thank you very much, Alexandra. We are going to move on to Feminade. Roya, do you want to take over?
Roya, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Roya Paxat, founder and CEO of Feminade. I have over a decade as a business development and strategic partnerships professional, working with Fortune 500 and startups in Silicon Valley. I currently live in Los Angeles. I am an engineer by degree, growth hacker, problem solver, and product design nerd by heart. I started Feminade as a frustrated consumer and patient in the current healthcare system. And then I realized I'm not alone and that millions of women out there share my story. So with that, I am going to share my screen. If you all can tell me, 1 second. Okay. Perfect. Are you all able to see my screen?
You can see it.
Perfect. Awesome. So Feminade is an online concierge for women's hormone and reproductive health. Our story is a story of millions of women. Our founding team and I, when we got together, we realized there's a huge gap within the women's health and reproductive space. 80% of women suffer from hormonal imbalance symptom. That is currently 60 million women in the US and 1.4 billion women worldwide. And it takes women an average of 6 to 8 years for an accurate diagnostic after their symptoms appear. Why is that? There's several reasons contributing to this problem. Women are more likely for their symptoms are being dismissed by the current healthcare system as voices in their head, or this is just normal, your painful period is just normal, is just part of being a woman, and they're often being dismissed. And conventional medicine solution currently offers band-aid solutions like the hormonal birth control pill to help women temporarily manage their symptoms. But as a lot of women and doctors know out there, the hormonal birth control pill is not a root cause solution. It's just a band-aid solution that comes with a lot of negative side effects. Another problem is insufficient testing, which leads into inaccurate initial diagnostic. This is why a lot of times when doctors come back telling women, your test results came back, everything is normal, women are still feeling frustrated because their symptoms are not going away while they're being told that their test results are normal. So the alternative solution would be for women to go see a holistic doctor and a naturopathic doctor. But in this country, specifically holistic in medicine and naturopathic doctors are extremely expensive. And they're very difficult to find a really good naturopathic doctor. So, and the problem with that is health insurance is currently not covering naturopathic medicine and holistic medicine. There are very few states that currently accept insurance to cover naturopathic medicine. So for a woman, a 4 to 6 month treatment with a holistic doctor can cost anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 out of pocket, which is basically like a luxury. And also another challenge is for women to find credible naturopathic and holistic doctors. A lack of licensure state, it basically prevents women from finding credible and naturopathic doctors, which makes it very time-consuming and frustrated process. So that's why we started Feminade. Our solution is an online concierge for women's hormone and reproductive health, helping them get to the root cause of their hormonal imbalance symptoms through our at-home testing and telehealth services, as well as supplements and online educational courses. So our process is very simple. Women will come to our site, they'll do an online assessment, they'll get on a call with the doctor, then the doctor will order them the test kit. And in a little bit, I'll tell you more about why our tests are very special and advanced and sensitive. And then from there, once their test results are in, they would get on another telehealth and consultation with the doctor to go over their test results. And then from there, they will rule out a diagnostic and a treatment plan for them. And then from there, women have access to their online portal. They're able to track their symptoms, to track whether their symptoms are getting better with the treatment or not, and always have access to their data. This way, we want to give women autonomy over the health. We want them to have more control and empower them through that. So why us? Like I mentioned, what's really special about our platform is the testing that we're offering. This is not the blood or saliva test. This is the urine test, 24-hour urine test or the dry test. We're first coming out with the dried urine test, which is very, very, very simple process for patients to collect this sample. What's really special about, in a little bit, I'll actually, in the next slide, I will jump into why our this dried urine test is very important part of our solution. Our business model, in which in a little bit I will get in as well, our online educational courses and our technology. I'm going to get into all of these in our next slides. So our science, like I mentioned, the dried urine test is the most sensitive and advanced test that exists right now. It not only provides doctors with women's hormone levels, it gives them a picture of hormone metabolites, which is really, really huge. And this is what exactly differentiates urine from blood and saliva. It'll help doctors give a accurate diagnostic and treatment as a result. And so we have partnered up with one of the best labs in the country. They're pioneers in this test, Meridian Valley Lab, and we have an exclusive partnership with them already in place. So it's not like we need to invent these tests from scratch. We're becoming a marketing and distribution channel for them. And again, like I mentioned, it is an exclusive partnership that we have with them. And so our business model. One way to really simplify a business model is give you an example of what Smiles Club did for the Invisalign and teeth straightening industry, which basically they disrupted that industry, a direct to consumer where patients pay a monthly low fee. Instead of paying $2 to $3 to $5 grand for their Invisalign, they pay a very low monthly fee, $50, $80, and they're able to get their Invisalign. It's a very similar business model. So currently, like I mentioned, if women wants to go see a naturopathic doctor, it'll cost them $1,500 to $1,500 to $2,000 just for the consultation and the lab. The supplements are an additional cost. So it'll cost them that much. And currently patients have to pay 63% of that upfront. With our model, it's a very low nominal monthly fee of $59.99 for 6 months. They will get the same exact treatment. So we are able to save women about 80% of that cost. And so that's what's really unique about our business model. And like I said, our technology platform, it's an online, women at the comfort of their pajamas, they can schedule a call, talk to a naturopathic doctor. We have already vetted these naturopathic doctors. We know what school they went to, their credentials, their licenses. So women don't need to worry about, is this a credible naturopathic doctor or not? So we've already done all of that for them. It's a easy assessment followed up by a consultation, and again, a portal where they can have access to all of their data at all time, giving women autonomy over their reproductive health. Now, market opportunity. So the telehealth market is expected to grow to $226 billion by 2025. And we live in a post-COVID era. With the lockdown, the value of telehealth has skyrocketed. A lot of patients, even before COVID, they prefer to not, commute, go to their doctor's office, wait for 45 minutes in the waiting room, and then just for a 10 to 15 minute time that they get to spend with their doctor. Also, a lot of doctors prefer to provide health online. So there's a huge market opportunity there. The complementary and alternative medicine, which is naturopathic and holistic medicine market, is expected to grow to $197 billion by 2026. Women's health, $54.6 billion. And this is $34 billion is how much consumers are currently spending on complementary and alternative medicine. And the at-home testing diagnostic market is expected to go to $6.3 billion. And the majority of women are using complementary and alternative medicine, and there are 600 million visits to holistic practitioners. A little bit about our competitive landscape. Obviously competitive pricing, our science, and the testing that we're offering to our women, and no one else in our competitive space is even promoting or talking about the dried urine test. All they do is, offer the blood prick test, which, like I mentioned, is not even an accurate diagnostic for women's hormonal imbalance symptom. And again, providing the online education piece, which is really huge. We plan on creating what masterclass is done for various industries, hiring experts in each industry, providing a course. We want to do the same thing for women's health. We are going to hire doctors specifically in each area who will be creating these online courses for women on specific topics. So if women are not interested in telehealth or the at-home testing, they just want to get educated, we can offer that to them as well. And there's going to be a separate membership for that. Our team, myself, founder and CEO, I have an incredible team of doctors. Dr. Erin Biller is our Chief Medical Officer. Dr. Natalie Kringadis and Sean Tassone are our Chief Medical Advisors and Directors. I have an incredible Chief Financial Officer, Anne, she's also our COO, Zahra Yar Ahmadi, and also our Chief Technical Officer, who is incredible, who's built similar products, technology solutions in the past. So like I said, our mission is to basically disrupt access to women's health. We want to democratize it. We believe that no woman, should not be discriminated when it comes to access to accurate health, and they should not be discriminated based on their ethnicity or socioeconomic background. And we want to democratize and offer equal health care to all women. Our business model, like I mentioned, it is a membership. So it's first and foremost direct to consumer. We're going to have several plans. Our flagship plan is the test kit and 2 online consultations. We're starting off with that. We haven't launched yet. We are in pre-launch. We are planning to launch in a week, actually. And so that's the first service that we are going to offer. The first plan is a test kit and 2 online consultations. Down the line, we want to have B2B. We've been, the opportunity is just massive. We are thinking of offering our health as an employee benefit to, for example, Facebook employees, Facebook female employees, Google female employees, and these large corporations that could just be, added as a health benefit for these employees. We also will have a la carte products and services. If a woman wants to come to our site, doesn't want to necessarily commit to a membership, they can just purchase or book an online consultation, a 45-30-minute consultation, and just to talk to a doctor. That's something we do offer to plan in the future. So our customer acquisition strategy, of course, digital marketing, email, social media, but affiliate programs with naturopathic doctors, talking to just 20 to 30 naturopathic doctors. A lot of them have told me, Roya, we already have a list of patients who cannot afford us. They cannot afford our prices. They cannot afford, paying out of that pocket, that we think would be a perfect fit for Feminade, and we haven't even launched yet. So the affiliate program with doctors, and we're planning on obviously compensating doctors for every referral that they bring to us. So that is huge. That right there in itself is a huge opportunity. Influencer marketing, of course, partnership with other complementary women's health organization where our service can be a complement to their consumers. And so we're exploring all of these with our marketing team currently. So in June, like I mentioned, we are going to launch with the telehealth and the test kits. And in August, we're going to come out with our online courses. And in November, we're going to plan to come out with our own branded supplements. And for now, we're partnering up with existing supplement providers, affiliate supplement providers, until we launch our own branded supplements. And so this is a financial breakdown of a projection for the next year. As you can see, we really have very healthy gross margins. Even though we're cutting down the expenses by 80%, we're still having very healthy profit margins. And so our goal is by 2026 to take over 48% of market share in the women's digital health. That sounds a little, might sound a little ambitious, but the way we've planned our with market strategy and all the research that we've done, we're very confident that we can reach that. And so our funding opportunity right now, that what we're asking is $2.4 million for 18-month runway. And this is the breakdown of where we want to spend that. To keep in mind, we have been 100% bootstrapped by now, and I'm getting flooded by a lot of investors so far that said they want to invest, and we want to be very smart and strategic and partnering up with the right strategic investors. So yeah, that's just to let you guys know that we are getting a lot of inbound interest as far as funding opportunities, but again, we want to make sure it's the right fit. And so these are some of the symptoms that we're going to be focusing on. Again, hormonal imbalance and reproductive health issues, from PMS, PCOS, endometriosis, all the way to depression, menopause, hair loss, brain fog. The list is long. And this is also a little breakdown of our financials. And this is more information about the lab that we've partnered up with and why they are, our chosen lab partner. And so with that,
Roya?
Yes.
Roya, yeah.
Sorry,
I don't mean to cut you off, but we're quite a bit over time for your pitch. Everyone can request your deck at the end, and I want to make sure we leave time for our last company. So
I realize it is a long deck.
I apologize. VagiPlug, we would love to have you go. No problem. VagiPlug, I would love to have you pop in. I hope that everyone can stay an extra 2 minutes for our final company. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I don't know how this is my first time doing the screen share thing, so I don't know how this is coming across, but I'm just gonna go with it. All right, so hello, my name is Tanea Brown, CEO and founder of VagiPlug. What do VagiPlug and 21.2 million women have in common? I'm glad you asked. The CDC stated that 21.2 million women are impacted with bacterial vaginosis and bacterial vaginal infections. Doctors estimate 75% of all women will experience at least one vaginal infection during their lifetime. And of those 75%, 40 to 50% will experience a reoccurring infection. The VagiPlug is a company that produces a consumer hygienic product for women that may assist with the reduction of vaginal infections experienced after bathing with fragrant soaps and cleansers. The VagiPlug will help to reduce exposure of the vaginal canal to substances that may cause irritation. We're providing women the renewed confidence to once again bathe with fragrance cleansers and soaps that may have once caused vaginal infections in the past. I'm sorry. We currently have any direct competitors, so this is a great time for investors to get in on the ground level with this new and innovative product. Whoops, I don't have it on here. Our company is made of women that span from the baby boomers all the way to millennials. So we actually have the gambit covered. This is our proposed marketing plan. We were planning to, VagiPlug currently is in the beta testing and we're getting ready to begin manufacturing. We propose that the units cost between $30 and $40. As I stated, the target market is 21.2 million. And so we're looking to possibly within the first quarter of being on the market, gain 1/3 of that, that market exposure. We thus far have been bootstrapping. We've raised $5,000. We're getting ready to actually begin a crowdfunding campaign as well. So my question is, who's ready to help women return to carefree bathing and showering? Who's ready to help women lose the fear of vaginal infections from fragrance, soaps, and cleansers? Who's ready to help me help us? And that's it.
Great, thank you so much for popping on. You did actually catch up a little bit of time on that one. I'd love to invite anybody to ask a few questions while you might be popping it into the chat. Just so everybody knows, in our last 1 minute, we will be making connections in a variety of different ways. We have, you can connect directly with us, and we can connect you right with the pitching company. We can pass on decks. We can send you the recording. I will pop in with one question so that we can hear from our last founder for just a minute, and then I'll let Carly close it out for us. This question is for Annie Lee. She mentions that she might have missed this, but can you speak just a tiny bit more on what the actual product is?
So the product is actually, and I'm sorry, I may not have done that, but the product is a medical grade silicone device, similar to a dildo, just, you know, minus the sexual aspect, and it's has that kind of U shape, and you simply insert it into your vagina, and that prevents anything from getting into your vagina, like the fragrant soaps, or like I had one lady tell me she will use it for when she's bathing, when she's in a hot tub, because she always seems to get vaginal infections when she's in a hot tub for some reason or another.
Great. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Carly, would you like to quickly close this out and also remind people how they can engage with our founders on Female Founded Club?
Yeah, so first of all, awesome job, all the founders. Thank you so much for pitching. Thanks for the investors for being here, and thanks to Kate for co-organizing. So as Kate mentioned, we can connect you with the founders if you email us, but also on the Female Founded Club portal, you have a page dedicated to the pitch sessions, which will have this recording along with all the profiles of the founders that pitched today, and you can reach out to the founders directly through the Female Founded Club messaging platform. So all your conversations are in one place. But anyway, if you have any feedback on how we can make this session more useful for you, of course, me and Kate are all ears. And thanks again for everybody. We'll see you next week, next Thursday.
Thanks again for showing up today, everybody, and make this a day of action. See you next week, hopefully.
Bye.